All right. First as always, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Bahashem,
Rekakwadash.
Rekakwadash.
We want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, tosses truth, and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the Akim and Akwat out there listening and learning. This is a branch of Great Millstone, Chicago, coming to you with some more of it. Live from Georgia. I'm the brother Asher.
This is Brother Yahya.
Yeah, and we just going to do a quick live, you know what I mean? Because we were planning on getting with the people out here, but, circumstances preventing us from doing that. But we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. As you can see the title, Esau's hatred, towards the Israelites in particular, is, going to be his ultimate because he can't stop us. And as we roll past, they still got the Confederate flags flying and all that stuff. So this devil has never changed who he was. And because of that, he's got a special judgment and destruction coming from him. And this started with this devil way back then when, he prevented us from, when we was coming out of Egypt. And they came out against us back then. And even back when Cain killed Abel. You know what I mean? We got accounts where Cain killed his own brother Abel. And the Lord told him, if you do well, then you'll be rewarded, loosely paraphrasing. But Cain back then, he didn't want to he didn't want to do that at that time, you know what I mean? And because of that, you got your foot on the accelerator. And because he didn't want to hearken unto the voice of the Lord and killed his own brother Abel. And consequently, that same spirit that was in Cain came up upon, Jacob versus Esau, and Esau has continued that same hatred, along with Amalek, the first of the nations, who we were talking about earlier, who came up against Israel when we was leaving out of Egypt. He came up against us.
You got it.
Yeah, Kyle.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 20 and verse 17. Let us pass thee. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders. And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword.
Right, and that's exactly what that devil did. Came out against us, with the sword. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And the children of Israel said unto him, We will go by the highway, and if my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it with my feet. Verse 20, he said, Thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand.
And that's exactly what this devil did. He came out against us with a strong hand back then. And he's doing the same thing now. He's preparing to come out with us with that great wrath because he's got a short time, and he has not changed his hatred towards the children of Israel.
Verse 21. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him.
And that's what this devil did. He refused to give us passage. You know what I mean? We was just trying to go about our merry way. You know what I mean? And Cain, when he killed Abel offered a better sacrifice, and Cain didn't. He was jealous of his brother then. And right now, Esau, Edom, a self-proclaimed white man here in America, he's envy and jealous of us even now to this very day. So again, this devil is not going to change his hatred towards the Israelites. And and for those who in the know, we know that his hatred is only going to get worse. He's going to wax worse and worse, which is why he's doing it, because he's got a short time. So we've got to be prepared and understand that he is truly our enemy and you can never trust him. But eventually, all the calamity that he's bringing upon us is going to come down on his own head. But let's just grab that. He's coming to a great wrath. Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore, rejoice.
Salaki. Before you grab that, get that numbers where, Amalek is in, going to be destroyed forever because he came out against us. You know what I mean? So, Salaki, and then we get to that Revelation. Because, again, his calamity is going to come on his own head. The Lord is going to bring that punishment upon him because he, came against us with such violence, such wrath. You know what I mean? He continued with, obviously with the transatlantic slave trade and all the other horrendous and treacherous acts he's done throughout the years. But let's grab that,
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 18. And Edom shall be a possession, Seir and shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Verse 19, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Right, and Amalek is, part of, he's Esau. Esau is Amalek's grandson, and Amalek is the, first of the nations, the chief of nations of Esau. So the Lord said, because of his great violence against us, the Lord is going to punish him tremendously. He's going to suffer the same calamities and woes he brought upon us. The Lord promised that, is going to turn around on him. You know what I mean? The destruction draweth nigh to this devil, because he's not going to stop his bitter hatred towards us. Period. Point blank. Period. And, but and that's the beautiful thing about Lord waking us up and knowing who we are and what's going to happen. The Lord is so mighty and beautiful in that he woke us up to the truth. He's and revealed all the secrets to his prophets. And because of that, the destruction draweth nigh for him. And we're prophesizing about that. Like we were commanded to do. Go ahead and get that Revelation 12 and 12.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right. So, he finally knows that his time is up. The wicked elites of Israel, the wicked elites of Esau, Edom, know he's got a short time, right? So he's going to ramp up the violence, ramp up the mass incarcerations. You know what I mean? He's going to ramp up everything that he's using his toolbox to bring the great destruction at an all-time high. You know what I mean? The scripture say, it's going to be a time like never before, meaning that he's really going to go above and beyond, because it's over with for him. You know what I mean? And that's all a part of this of the Lord's will. That everything's going to go ramp up to chaotic levels. He's going to be sparing none. It's going to be like madman sparing none. And then the Lord is going to come and defend us. Because without him, we're not going to make it out of here.
Our weapons of warfare are carnal.
Are not carnal, right? We're waiting on the Lord to turn the tide over against Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man here in America. Get that time like never before, showing you what's about to unfold. It's going to be a time like never before. And who's going to be in the middle of that Jacob's trouble? It's going to be Esau's trouble too. But, Jacob's trouble is ultimately our trouble as well.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1.
Started Jeremiah 37, Salakia. And then we get that Daniel 12 and 1, Salakia.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and verse
7.
And verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Right. So that time of Jacob's trouble, we're in that time right now, right? But Esau is showing his horns. He's doing a mass deportation on the levels, or he's getting rid of the northern kingdom. Now he's going after the Haitians, you know what I mean, and the Levites. So soon it's going to be Jake, you know what I mean, because these YNs think that they got free reign. They're running around with all these switches, all this stuff. But Esau's using that to plot against him. He's like, he's going to be, look, they got guns and switches and they causing chaos and all this stuff going down. And this is for him to ultimately implement that MOTB as well. So that's a part of this process as well, too. So that's what he means. He's going to bring all this stuff out, and, nobody's going to be spared. Esau's so wicked, he's even turning on his own people. He doesn't care. Only the wicked elite are going to, are the ones who are orchestrating this whole situation. You know what I mean? Esau, right now, he's so messed up. He's divided against his own people, which is a part of this ultimate destruction where the things are turning around on himself. You know what I mean? He doesn't care who gets in the way. Like the Elder Malcolm always say, we'll hit some of their men too. He is just, the board of wickedness that Malachi talks about. And the board of wickedness is, he can't help but be wicked. You know what I mean?
Want that, Daniel?
Yeah, go ahead and get that Daniel. Then we're going to get the Malachi, the board of wickedness. And then we're going to get You know what I mean? Mark, yeah, that they hating each other.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Yeah, the Lord is going to deliver the elect in this time of calamity, atrocities, woe, and destruction. It's going to be all over the place. You know what I mean? Michael's going to have to come and defend us. That's how bad it's going to be. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Esau, Edom, this self-proclaimed white man, is going to throw the kitchen sink at him. You know, the civil war, you know, them hating each other, you know, is going to be a part of that destruction. And Jake is going to get caught in the crossfire. This is how bad it's going to be. You know what I mean? He's going to go around like a madman, sparing nobody. You know what I mean? You know, because that's what he is. The Lord said he was given a sword to take peace from the earth. And boy, is he doing his job, taking peace from the earth. So you got that Malachi?
Yeah. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts.
So Esau, Mount Seir was desolate back in ancient days, but he returned in America, Rome 2.0, to build it back up again. But the Lord said, I'm going to go ahead.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
So, yeah, they're going to rebuild, which they have done. You know what I mean? The daily wounded was healed. They rebuild. You know what I mean? The daily wounded revelation, they was healed. But the Lord is going to bring it to ultimate destruction to them. You know what I mean? And that's what we were talking about earlier, that it's going to turn on its own head. But go ahead.
And they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right, and that's who Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man here in America, and those you wishes over in our land. They are the border of wickedness, and they're not going to change. The scripture says, "Can he that is accustomed to evil do good?" That Jeremiah 13:23. Grab that. He's not going to change who he is. So for people thinking that he's going to change his destructive, violent, and chaotic ways, you're sadly mistaken.
Finishing out this Malachi 1, the border of wickedness and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever.
Right, and that indignation forever goes back to what we read in Numbers. He's got a war with Amalek forever. So this ties right in with that. You know what I mean? Esau, you know what I mean? He said, Esau have I hated, Jacob have I loved. You know what I mean? So this is the part of who this devil is. You know what I mean? That's also in that Malachi. That, you know, the boy that hates this devil because he, you know, he has a hatred, deep hatred against the Israelites. You know what I mean? He's caused destruction, rape, rob, murder, and kill us everywhere we've been. You know, they have been plotting against us from, you know what I mean, from the very onset, and they have not stopped their, you know, their desecration and destruction of the Israelites. You know, they go ahead.
The spirit is not raised up right within him.
Right, yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, and verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. And
that's who Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is. He can't change his nature. He is come to be at, you know, at odds with the Lord's people, you know, the Hebrew Israelites, the Native Americans, Latino Americans, the so-called African Americans here in America, and scattered throughout the four corners of the world. This devil is going to be, he's always been contrary and against us. He's never going to change that. You know what I mean? And that's who he is. And we understand that. The rest of the world doesn't. And they're the ones who are getting blindsided because they think this guy, he changed himself into a minister of light. He causes the calamity and the destruction, then comes with the solution after he causes it. You know what I mean? But we hip to his games. We're not ignorant of his strategies. Get that we're not ignorant of his devices. Get that Revelation 6 and 4. You know, this is who this devil is.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And his
great sword was given to Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man here in America, pursuing Genesis. You know what I mean? Where he was given a sword and to take peace from the earth. And that's what this devil has done. You know, we're going to go to Genesis, but, you know, along with that, we know the earth was given into the hands of wicked, Job 9 and 24. And this is what he has done. He has destroyed the earth, destroyed the, the inhabitants thereof. You know what I mean? He's ruled with a wicked, he's ruled wickedly and destructively and violently. Who else is, destroying the ozone? I mean, the ozone layer. Who else is destroying the plants? Who else is destroying the animals? Who else is killing the Israelites all around the world? Who else is playing mad scientists? You know what I mean? Nobody else is doing this wickedness. But Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man here in America. Who else has garrisons around the world? Who's got military bases in everybody's country? This devil has. He is a violent, bloody man. The scriptures talks about that.
Went to Genesis.
Yeah, I think 49.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And that's exactly what he was blessed with, the sword. And the sword is modern, sword in ancient world was a sword. And modern times it's the gun, it's his missiles, it's his tank, it's his air force, his army, his military might. That's that's his sword. And he's used that to oppress, destroy, murder, and kill across the globe. You know what I mean? He's waged war with the whole world, non-stop, and even his own people. He's waging war against them now. And now it's unraveling. The Lord is removing the wisdom from this devil. That's why he's going to get caught in his own plot. That's, what I mean? Everything that he thought to do to us is turning around on him, because the Lord is removing his wisdom. The Lord gave him the wisdom to create the nuclear bomb, the atom bomb. Now the Lord's removing all that wisdom. Now he's going to be, everything he created is going to be used against him.
Finishing out verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
And that tone has been with Esau, Edom, a self-proclaimed white man forever. That's why I was telling you, we're in GA, and Confederate flags is all over the South, flying high. You know what I mean? He's proud of his heritage of violence and murder, and destruction. He loves it. He's reveling in it. And Trump is just only perpetuating the hatred. You know what I mean? By DJ Trump getting in office, he's accelerating the hatred. Well, you know what I mean? But the problem is, he's accelerating the hatred not only against us, but against his own. Though the poor of his people, they downtrodden too. And so it's turning around for him, and there's no escape in this destruction.
You want the Egyptian against Egyptian?
Yeah, exactly. Mark, yeah. Give me Mark 3:28. The devil, Satan can't cast out Satan, I think it is.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, and verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but has an end.
And exactly, and that's what the Lord is showing you, the end of things. You know what I mean? Esau Edom didn't consider the latter end, right? The Lord has put him in a trick bag. That's what the scripture say, there's no more wisdom in him. He's set him at odds against himself. You know what I mean? They are completely divided. It's the upper elite against the rest of them. You know what I mean? And he's like, we got ours, you're not getting yours. And that's going to cause mass confusion and problems as well. And this is all part of the Lord's plan, to bring them at odds against each other, showing you that, everything is turning around on him. He's causing a division amongst infighting. And they're going to be pew-pewing each other, and Jake is going to get caught in the crossfire. And I'll go get that Egyptian versus Egyptian 19.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
And that's what's happening now. You know what I mean? You got Russia fighting Ukraine. That's Amalek. I mean, it's Esau against Esau. America's, going to start taking on Americans with the Civil War. They're going to be fighting each other's civil unrest, the have and have not. So Esau is going to be going against Esau because the resources are drying up. You know what I mean? And they're not getting their help that they thought they was going to get from DJ Trump. If you can pull it up on TikTok, Google, see them crying, sighing, and crying, that, you know what I mean, those curses are coming upon them because the Lord removed the wisdom from this devil. So he doesn't even understand it. He's caught in a trick bag. Get that, there's no more wisdom in teaming. You think it's Jeremiah 49 or something like, yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in teeming? Is counsel perished from the prudent?
Absolutely, it's perished. Go ahead, Salaki.
Is their wisdom vanished?
Yeah, the wisdom is vanished, right? You know how the wisdom is vanished? Because the Lord is, put a spirit on them, you know what I mean, for it to vanish. You know what I mean? The Lord is orchestrating this so calculating, so powerful that these devils don't even know. You know what I mean? This is all part of the Lord's plan. That's why the wisdom is being removed. The Lord is doing to them the same thing he did to King Ahab, where he sent lying spirits among them to create the chaos. You know what I mean? So you grab that, lying spirits that he sent to Ahab to cause them to mess over each other. You know what I mean? The same thing, the Lord is sending them evil angels among them to guide them. He said the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turned it whichever way he wants. So he's turning Esau to do exactly what he need him to do.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, and verse 22. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth. Well, actually, I'll start up.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, and verse 20. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at
Ramoth Gilead?
And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. Verse 21. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. Verse 22. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, go forth and do so.
And he's doing the same thing with Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man. He's sending them evil spirits to persuade him to think he's doing the right thing, but it's bringing about his downfall, his destruction. You know what I mean? And that's the purpose of Yahweh Shema Shai, to show this devil his shame, to show this devil his wickedness. And the Lord is doing a marvelous bang-up job at that. You know what I mean? Because he's not going to escape. And the Lord is, he's doing all this for his purpose, for his glory, for his, for the will of, for the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. Get that the king's heart, that Proverbs 29, 22, the king's heart in the hand of the Lord.
Because Esau think the left-hand angel's on his side, man.
Exactly, right. And they're part of bringing about his ultimate destruction. And his ultimate destruction is because of a controversy against Zion. Us, the Israelites, his hopeful righteous elect.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Yeah, and
you get the same account that the Lord is turning them, just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart, for his purpose. He's doing the same thing with DJ Trump. He's hardening his heart and making this devil do all the same things where, he refused to, he can't get right. He's going to do exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. You know what I mean? Get that, he hardened Pharaoh's heart for his purpose. And this is the same thing. DJ Trump, heart is being hardened. He's doing exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. That's why we just grabbed that scripture, the fact that, his heart is in the hands of the Lord. And he does it, the Lord does what he wants to. This is the Lord's show. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man here in America has been casted as the villain, and he can't get out of that. And we're casted as, as the heroes. You can't change that. This is the Lord's show. Just, Google heart and the Pharaoh's heart. Yeah. And this is this is what happened, back in the ancient world, and it's happening now.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 21. And Yahweh said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
Exactly. So the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so he could show himself powerful, and he's doing the same thing now. The Lord is about to show himself at a whole nother level, whole scale that he had not done, hadn't done before. You know what I mean? So he's hardening Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man in America heart to do his bidding, to bring a mass chaos, mass destruction. You know what I mean? To have that perpetual hatred against his brother Jacob and suffer consequently before it. Obviously, we sinned against our power, Yahweh Shema Shai. So before we went in captivity, and we were suffered under punishment. But Esau Edom forward the affliction. He went beyond the punishment that the Lord told him to do. So he's got to get his punishment as well. He went above and beyond the call of duty of punishing us, whipping us, chaining us, beating us, feeding us to alligators, and consequently eating us as well. And right now, you can Google it, and they still lynching niggas around this world. Who else is lynching niggas? Who else is disappearing? Who else is trafficking all these humans? Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man here in America, is doing all these atrocities. He hasn't changed his playbook. He's still selling souls. Slave trade is still going on across the globe, and it's going on here in America. But it's been hidden. But people are showing it every day. Remember they used to have that on the milk carton back in the day, missing. You know what I mean? And it's still happening. So he has not changed his he hasn't changed his program.
Yeah, you can't trust this man.
Right, you can't trust this man. This is just get that perpetual hatred. Ezekiel and Obadiah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, and that's exactly what this devil did. You know what I mean? We were at the end of our stuff, and he kept going. He pushed the envelope to do worse and worse.
Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passes out, and him that returneth.
Break it down.
So right there it says, thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, man. And this man Esau has spilled blood throughout the entirety of America, man. When he first got here, when Cristobal Colon first got here, he killed hella of our people, man.
Yeah,
the Native
Gad
Americans,
Rubens, right?
Gad and Reuben, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And the blood can only be cleansed by the blood of him that shed it, man. I'm finna get it.
Yep, exactly.
But the only way to cleanse this land is to kill the blood of him that shed it, man, which is Esau Edom.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he has not changed his tune, man. He's a bloody, violent man. That's what that Ezekiel just said. You finished that Ezekiel? When it said he's a bloody man, should pursue him?
Yeah.
Okay, calm. Okay. He's got to pay for his, his atrocities, man. And only Yahweh Shema Shai can render unto him the proper judgment. The Lord said, "Vengeance is mine, thus saith Yahweh." So he's going to do he's going to be the one to avenge him of all his blood and bring it upon him.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
And that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what we're talking about, is turning around on him. The blood that he spilled, his own blood has got to be spilled.
The curse is going to be upon our enemies, man.
Right, yeah.
The script has to flip.
Yeah. And that's at Deuteronomy 30 and 7. This is a part of the transformation from us to him. You know what I mean? Get that Obadiah, then we get that Deuteronomy 37. But, we just further outlining his hatred towards us. I think it's Obadiah 1 and 10.
Let's start at 10.
No, start up, I guess. Let's see. We start at 10. We just get to the point.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gate, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
And that's it, man. You know what I mean? You sat there, you know what I mean, and actually participated in the rest of our capture, our torture, our calamity, our distress.
He took hand.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you was hand in hand with that. You know what I mean? You participated and helped further the affliction. You know, and continue to slaughter. You know what I mean? You were right there.
Verse 13, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
Right.
Verse 14, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
That's right.
Go ahead. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Go ahead.
And this has to happen for the
controversy of Zion.
Yeah, the controversy of Zion.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You got to pay. There's payback time, and the Lord's gonna make you pay. Everything that you've done to Israelites, you know what I mean, across the world, is gonna be done to you. You know what I mean? That's a part of what we're saying. It's going to come back on your own head. You're not going to escape your punishment. You're not going to escape your judgment. And it's turning around now.
You got to get double, man.
Exactly. You're going to get double. Get that Deuteronomy 30 and 7.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, man.
Yeah, so the curses that we went through in that Deuteronomy 28, we went through the woman is evil towards a man. You going through that now. Now you're gonna go through your poverty, which a lot of the poor Edomites are suffering right now because they're not tied in with the elite. So and now you know what I mean. You're going through what Jake went through. You know what I mean. And that's a part of what the Lord said. The curse is gonna come to you now, and we witnessing it. You know, and everything you've done to us is happening to you. And we just the Wadi Habashim Shah, he's allowing us to bear witness to it. Get that Isaiah 33 and 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, and verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealtest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
And that's exactly what's going to happen to you. All the shame, all the pain, all the horror, all the bloodshed, all the violence, all the the rape, rob, and murder is going to hit your door sooner than later. And and it's a part of the righteous judgment of Yahweh Shema Shah. We suffered our punishment, we suffered our pain, we suffered our humiliation. Now it's your turn. You know what I mean? And that's part of the prophecy. You know what I mean? The Lord is turning it all around for you. Everything that you've done to us is going to be done to you double. You know what I mean? Reward her double. And, we can't wait. You know what I mean? Our accomplishment is done. Get that Lamentations 4 and 21. You know what I mean? Our suffering is over with. Now it's your turn. Lamentations 4, 21, I believe it is, 22.
Yeah. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
And that's exactly what the Lord is doing. He's making you naked. He's showing you your shame. You got shameful spewing upon your glory. You're showing the world your wickedness. You know what I mean? And now your economy is failing. Your dollar's crashing. And it's all over for you. You know what I mean? And our punishment has been accomplished. Now it's your turn to be punished. The Lord is righteous in his judgment. It's your turn. You got to drink of that cup. You know what I mean? We drunk that cup. You're going to drink that cup with the dregs. You know what I mean? You're not going to escape your punishment. grab that. The drink of that. Go ahead. Yeah, drink of the cup. Go ahead. No, what you got there?
I got the double.
Yeah, that's fine. Get the double.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 6. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath fulfilled, filled to her double.
And that's what's coming for you, Esau, eating self-proclaimed white man in America, and the you wishes over in our holy land. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're gonna get double. Everything you have to. It's just written.
The Lord is a righteous judge, man.
Right. Yeah. You know, he's all about balance. You know, if Yahweh Shah, his own son, suffered and went on the cross, like Elder Karab always say, what makes you think you're exempt from your punishment, from your judgment? As apostles and elders go into all the time. You know, Esau, you've got to drink this cup of suffering, sorrow, anguish, and woe. You've got to, you got to go through it.
You said drink the cup.
I think it was Jeremiah 51, somewhere like that. He's got to drink of that cup. He went to all the nations. You know what I mean? But Esau, you're gonna, you definitely gonna, have to go through what what we went through. You know what I mean? There's no way around it. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 10. But I have made Esau bare; I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, says Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste, man.
That's right.
So when this third will hit, the Lord is finna wipe out America, man. It's gonna be that lake of fire written, man.
That's right.
With them ICBM nukes, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're gonna get hit with those nukes. You're hit with them lasers from the chariots. You know what I mean? You're gonna suffer the most violent destruction ever imaginable on this planet. And it's gonna be awe-inspiring, and something that's gonna be legendary, talked about for generations afterwards, on how this place fell in 1 hour. The destruction is gonna be on a grand scale that's never before been seen. And this is a part of your just punishment.
It's part of that cup.
Part of that cup.
Verse 14, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. So these other nations finna come against you for all your wickedness, man.
Right, that's a part of that. Yeah, you're gonna get something. So they gonna get they lick back to. They're gonna hate the whore, the tension, hate the whore for all your treaties and all your backdoor dealers are betraying them. They mad at you too.
Everybody is.
Yeah, everybody mad at you, man. This is all a part of, we bore the shame of the nations. Now you're going to bear the shame of the nations as well, too. Now you're going to be the laughing stock, man.
Verse 15, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men.
Yeah, and that's what the Lord is doing to you. Greatly despised, you know what I mean? Nobody likes you, because, because now everybody sees you for who you truly are. And, and it is your time to suffer as we have suffered. To recompense you the reward that you deserve.
Verse 16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, that holdest the height of thy heel, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Yahweh.
Yeah, and that, and that's what's happening. You're being brought down low. Your rulership is being stripped from you. You're being brought down low, and then ultimately your destruction. You know what I mean? That's what we can't wait for. We can't wait for the Lord to, finish this culmination of your destruction. You know what I mean?
Verse 17, also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goes by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighborhood cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. And what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah was put on fire, man.
In fact,
just like this place gonna get put on fire, man.
Yeah, man. And then that's a part of the what's going to happen to this place. It's gonna be blood up to the horse's bridle, man. You know what I mean? It's according to the scriptures, man. You know, the slaying of the Lord shall be many. You know, he's gonna put the destruction, man, on the scale. This unimaginable. Blood up to the horse's bridle, man. That's you know that's a lot of blood, man. You know how tall a horse is, and this is what's coming. You know what I mean? To Esau, Edom. You know what I mean? He's gonna pay for his sins.
Because of that perpetual hatred. This is the book of Revelation chapter 14 and verse 19. And the angel thrusted his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Lord. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress even unto the horse's bridle. Exactly. By the space of 1,600 furlongs.
Man, that's a lot of blood, man. That's gonna be shed, man. That you've got to answer for. You know what I mean? You got to answer for everything that you've done, man. And you're not gonna escape it. There's no way around it. So all the things that we went through is turning over to you. Everything that you've done is gonna get done unto you. And you know, and that's the righteousness. That's the you say an unjust weight is abomination to the Lord. So the Lord is all about balance. What happens to one has to happen to the other. And now it's your time to pay for everything that you've done. And we're watching it unfold. You know what I mean? Right in the face. There's no more, you know, there's no more is it gonna happen? It's happening. You know what I mean? And you're just playing out your role.
There's no way out of this.
There's no way out of it. You're playing out your role as a villain. Yeah, you know. All right, man. You got anything else?
I got this. Isaiah 63.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 63 and verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that traveleth in a wine fat, man. So there's gonna be so much blood that's damn near gonna be on our garments, man.
Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. You know, he's gonna go back. He's getting his lick back first. Yahweh Shai is gonna, you know what I mean, tread the wine press and put the smack down on Esau. So that's him coming from, you know, Basra. Yeah. You know what I mean, which is another word for a Greek word was for Esau, Edom, Idumeans. You know what I mean? Part of their process.
He's not coming back with hugs and kisses, man.
No, he definitely not coming back. You know, that's a part of the onslaught.
Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Yep,
and wherever, you know, Esau is, you know what I mean, that's where the Lord is going to be. So Basra was the capital city where the Edomites he was hanging out at, you know what I mean, and the Lord is going, wherever Esau, this devil is at, you know what I mean, but mainly here in America, is going to suffer.
Verse 4, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
And that's exactly what it is. And it's come, you know what I mean? You know, for the controversy of Zion, get that Isaiah 34. You know what I mean? For you spilling the blood of Israel all over the world. This is why the Lord is going to come through and put the beat down on you and beat the brakes off of you.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 8. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion.
Zion, you know, his chosen people, apple of his eye. You know, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Native Americans, Latin Americans, African Americans, and a speckled bird. Remember, this is a lineage thing. This ain't got nothing to do with skin color. This is all about the lineage, you know what I mean, of the Israelites, who they are. And remember, we were scattered throughout the four corners of the world, so they're going to come looking like everybody. So it has nothing to do with a race. It's all about the lineage of, you know, the Lord's chosen people. A special treasure, and you touching them, putting your hands on them, and the Lord is gonna make you pay for that. You know, and it's turning around now. We watching it unfold. All right, you know, that's it. Yeah, we hope this was edifying. With that, we want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, great millstone, tosses truth, the rule well. Till next time, Shalom. Kwam Yasharala, and a Baba Ball.